long before Prince Alaron ever drew breath, before the palace walls rose from stone, before the Elyndar knew peace or fear, a prophecy carved itself into the very bones of history. It spoke of two destinies intertwined, a child of light and a child of darkness, two souls born from opposite worlds, yet bound by a fate no power could unweave. And the prophecy warned, when their paths cross, the kingdom will either crumble into ruin or rise anew reborn in glory. To the crown, this was no tale of hope. It was a threat whispered in the dark, a danger that could overturn everything the kings of old had built. But to the Elyndar society, masters of ancient healing magic, keepers of forgotten knowledge, the last protectors of the balance between realms, the prophecy was not a warning. No, it was a promise, a beacon, a sign that one day light and darkness would walk together again. That fear twists the hearts of rulers, and the kings of old allowed that fear to root, to grow, to consume. They declared the Elyndar dangerous, their gifts unnatural, their powers are too great, their existence a threat to the throne. And so the crown silenced them. Scrolls were burned, temples destroyed, healers hunted without mercy. Their songs, their rituals, their knowledge, scattered like ashes on the wind. The Elyndar were driven into the shadows, forgotten by history, buried by fear. Yet even in darkness, life endures. The Elyndar did not vanish. They hid. They survived. They waited. And among the very last of their sacred bloodline, a child was born. A girl whose presence stirred the old magic, whose heartbeat echoed with the rhythm of ancient power, whose destiny was written long before her first cry filled the night. Her name is Lara, and with her, the prophecy awakens once more.
The Last Elyndar, prophecy of light and darkness.
In the wake of Ashmere village, after Ashmere lay in ruins, its homes were still burning, and its people grieving because of the weight of the wound caused by the throne's relentless hunt for the hidden Elyndar people. When dawn had barely begun to breathe across the sleeping world, a lone figure walked through the village. Not a prince in shimmering robes, not the heir wrapped in silver, gold and expectation, but a young man disguised in the humble clothes of a soldier. His name is Prince Alaron. He slipped away from the palace back gate under the cloak of night. He was led only by a quiet hope that somewhere beyond those stone walls, someone still needed him. The village had burned. Smoke clung to the sky, and inside a small healing tent, warm with fading candlelight, Prince Alaron knelt beside a wounded villager. His heart was steady, but his hands trembled. He wanted to help them, but he didn't know how. And then, through the stillness, came a voice as soft as wind on water. "Let me," she said. A woman stepped forward, her presence calm and unshaken, and her eyes amber, glowing like embers in the dark. She knelt beside the villager and placed her fingertips on the wound, whispered ancient words, and a cool blue radiance flowed from her hands. Before Prince Alaron could even breathe, the wound closed as though time itself bowed to her will. He stared, captivated and speechless. Who are you?" he asked, but she gave no answer. She only stood turning toward the tent's entrance. And that was when he saw it. The mark on her wrist, a golden spiral glowing softly in the candlelight. The forbidden's emblem of the Elyndar, a symbol the crown had tried to erase. a people the history insisted were gone. She should have been arrested, condemned and feared. But instead, Prince Alaron followed her. He followed her outside into the night. The moon cast silver across her silhouette. She paused, just once, when she heard his footsteps. "I am a forgotten daughter," she said quietly. Prince Alaron hesitated only a moment before calling out. "Please, your name?" he asked. She looked back over her shoulder, with the moonlight brushing her face like a whispered blessing. "Lara," she said. And then she was gone, leaving the young prince standing alone beneath the fading moon, with his heart racing and breath unsteady. He did not know her power, and in that moment, Alaron did not know her past. He did not know the danger that would soon hunt them both. He only knew one thing: his life had just changed forever. At first light, rumors spread through the palace like wildfire. The Elyndar have returned. Magic has woken again, and the old prophecy lives. The king responded with fear, the queen with dread. Prince Alaron sought the only man he trusted, Commander Jareth. "I met one of them," Alaron whispered. "And she is not our enemy." Jareth's heart twisted. He remembered the woman he loved. She was also an Elyndar, with the same golden spiral light just as the prince described. But he had to let her go for her safety. This was a memory he kept hidden from the world. "Prince Alaron, the road you're choosing will not be easy," Jareth said. Still, he couldn't stop him, because deep inside him, he knew the boy's heart was right. Days passed quietly, and Prince Alaron searched for Lara. He found her in the forgotten, moonlit garden ruins behind the palace, picking some herbs. She froze when she saw him. "You shouldn't be here," she whispered. "And yet," he answered softly, "I find myself drawn to you." He brings her the stolen medicinal herbs, but she refuses to take them. With her voice fragile, she whispers, "Kindness from a prince can be dangerous." Prince Alaron smiled faintly. "Then let it be dangerous." For the first time, her gaze softened. Their hands brushed and a pulse of ancient magic quiet, powerful and alive, shot between them, stealing both their breaths. They walked and talked for a while, but unseen behind a stone archway, a palace maid watched in silence, eyes wide with fear. She gasps, realizing the prince is in love with an outlaw. By nightfall, word reached the king. Prince Alaron was summoned before King Thorian and Queen Amera, their faces carved with worry. "Tell us the truth," the king demanded. "Have you aligned yourself with the Elyndars?" Alaron said nothing, but his silence was an answer. The queen said, "There is a prophecy, one that warns of light and darkness entwined." But Prince Alaron lifted his gaze, calm and unmoving. He said, "I must follow where my heart leads." The court grew painfully silent. His fate was sealed. That night, Prince Alaron stood at his window, staring toward the forest, the place where he had met Lara. He did not sense the danger creeping nearer. He did not know what the crown was willing to do to stop him, or how tradition could bind him like chains of iron. But one truth rose inside him, soft, steady and uncheckable. He would not let her go. And so, the true beginning of this story unfolded, beneath the quiet glow of the moon. Jareth was summoned by King Thorian. He was ordered to follow Prince Alaron and uncover the woman the prince protects. He decided to search for Lara, and when he found her, he believed he would finally uncover the truth. He searched tirelessly, and eventually, he found her, hidden among the ancient forest ruins. She was not dangerous, but she was gentle. And in that moment he confirmed something. Lara was not just an Elyndar. He just confirmed his suspicion. She was his daughter. She was the child he had with the healer he had loved long ago. The woman he had let go for her safety because she belonged to a tribe hunted by the throne. From the moment Jareth looked into Lara's eyes, something inside him remembered. The shape, the color, the quiet fire within them. They mirrored the eyes of the woman he had once loved, and he never stopped searching for her. He did not know the truth then, but her eyes were the first whisper of it. And when he finally learned who Lara truly was, everything fell into place. Every memory, every fear, every moment, he wondered what became of the healer he loved. Lara carried her mother's eyes and her mother's magic, and she was his. Jareth knew he had to make a life-changing decision. He had to betray the throne to protect his daughter, the same woman the prince loved. But whispers reached the palace. The queen summoned him in secret. "Do you know who she is?" Jareth answered with shaking hands. "I do," Queen Amara replied. "Then help us kill her before the prophecy chooses for us." King Thorian's decree shattered the night. Lara was to be captured. When Jareth heard the order, he raced to Prince Alaron's chamber. With panic rising in his voice, he informed him of the king's order. That the soldiers had already found her. They descended on the ruins where she hid. Lara fought back with her Elyndar light glowing in her hands. But she was outnumbered. Suddenly, a poisoned blade cut across her, driving her to her knees. Just then, a furious roar split the air. Jareth burst into the fray, cutting down the very soldiers he had trained. Prince Alaron arrived moments later, his eyes blazing with a protectiveness that could burn the world. He gathered Lara into his arms. "Hold on," he whispered, his voice breaking. And beneath the cold moonlight, the three fled into the mountains, united by loyalty, love, and their betrayal to the crown. Jareth followed them, not to stop them, but to protect them. The snow cut like glass. Cold winds howled. The world behind them began to burn. And Jareth carried a secret that weighed heavier than any blade. Lara was his daughter. She did not know. Alaron did not know. No one knew. And he intends to carry this truth to his grave. Lara and Prince Alaron decided to hide in the old Elyndar sanctuary. He tended to Lara's wounds. Day after day, he cared for her, and slowly her strength returned. When she was finally well enough to stand, Lara called him deeper into the sanctuary. There, beneath the trembling light of ancient ruins, she revealed the truth. "My bloodline can heal a kingdom or destroy it. And, if I go ahead to marry you, the prophecy awakens." Alaron knelt before her, trembling. "I do not fear the prophecy. Instead, I fear losing you." And in that quiet, stolen moment, their lips met, and they whispered vows unrecognized by the kingdom. Then, an ancient magic burst through the sanctuary and spread across the land. King Thorian felt it instantly, and he declared, "My son has doomed us." While Alaron and Lara hid and rested in the Elyndar sanctuary, Jareth slipped away under the veil of darkness. He said he was going to look for supplies. He lied. He was searching for Vara, the woman who once saved his life, the healer he had loved in silence, the woman whose eyes lived in Lara's face. He searched for her through countless winds. But when he found her at last, time had already slipped away. She lay in the quiet ashes of a burned, ruined village. After she had been struck by the royal soldiers while applying medication to the wounded villagers. "Vara," he shouted. She lay in a pool of blood, With her breath fading, her hands still warm with the last of her magic, Jareth lifted her head onto his lap, trembling. "Stay with me. Please." Her fingers brushed his cheek, and with her last tender breath, she released the truth her heart had guarded. "Lara is our daughter." Jareth froze as though time itself hesitated. The suspicion he had carried like a quiet ache had finally proven true. "No, no, no. Vara." Her breath grew thin. "Protect her." And with that whisper, she slipped away. Jareth's cry split the ruins, a sound of grief, rage, and a love that never had time to bloom. He decided to bury her beneath the sacred Elyndar tree, and swore he would protect Lara and Alaron at all cost, and that he would also stop the prophecy at any cost. He needed answers. Thank you, my dear listener, for walking with me through every heartbeat of this story, for letting each moment wrap softly around your imagination. Stories like this bloom only when someone gentle enough pauses to listen. And today, you were that someone. But remember, this is only the first spark. Part 2 will carry deeper longing, sweeter romance, bolder emotions, and the kind of moments that make your heart ache in the most beautiful way. I can't wait to take you there. Before you go, I would like you to tell me, where are you watching from? Share it in the comments below. I love knowing where in the world your heart is listening from, because it makes our connection feel even more magical. And if this story touched you, even a little, please like, share, and subscribe to Romantic Tales by Sally. Your support means everything. It helps these love-filled stories find more hearts, more dreamers, more souls searching for a little romance and wonder. So come back for part 2. I'll be here, waiting to sweep you once again into a world where love whispers, magic lingers, and every tale feels like a soft promise.